Utkarsh.
Good afternoon, sir.
Please sit down.
Thank you, sir.
Comfortable?
Yes.
So, Utkarsh, please introduce yourself to the panel.
Sir, my name is Utkarsh Ujjwal. I belong to Patna, Bihar. I've done my schooling from DAV Public School, Patna. After that, I've done my graduation in civil engineering from IIT Guwahati. Sir, my father is a retired teacher and my mother is a homemaker. Sir, my hobbies and interests include listening to Ghazals and Qawwali.
So, Utkarsh, as I can see, you are from Bhojpur.
Yes, sir.
So, Bhojpur is a very interesting name as such. One knows so much about Bhojpur. Tell us what are the special things and unique things about Bhojpur?
Sir, Bhojpur is one of the 38 districts of Bihar. Sir, it was set up in 1972 after bifurcation from the old Shahabad district. Sir, two districts of Bhojpur and Rohtas were bifurcated. Sir, the term Bhojpur comes from the Parmar dynasty. Sir, King Bhoj of the Parmar dynasty. Sir, earlier settlers from the Parmar dynasty. Sir, the Ara is a district headquarter of Bhojpur and it is a very developing district.
This Bhojpuri has come from Bhojpur.
Yes, sir. Bhojpuri is the language spoken.
So tell me, Utkarsh, why has Bhojpuri become such a popular language?
Sir, Bhojpuri is one of the very richest languages of our country. Sir, we have Bhojpuri has legends like Bhikhari Thakur, who wrote nataks in Bhojpuri. Sir, also it has a very rich literary tradition. But sir, in contemporary times, Bhojpuri, the quality of Bhojpuri movies and singing has reduced to some extent.
You are a civil engineer.
Yes, sir.
So I'll ask a question on urban development. So there have been some 2 or 3 interventions, major interventions in the recent budget on urban development and housing. So can you relate them?
Sir, I can recall 2 things. Firstly, the allocation for PM Awas Yojana has been increased by 66% this year. And sir, secondly, the loan exemption to state governments has been extended for investment in infrastructure projects. So this includes investment in housing, roads and all these things. Sir, I can recall only these 2.
Okay. There is some fund also which has been created for urban development. Any idea?
Sir, Infrastructure Finance Secretariat has been established.
No, doesn't matter. Now tell me, Utkarsh,
Yes, sir.
suppose you were in an urban city, a metro, and you see lots of slums in the metros, and you are the person in charge of, the municipal administration or whatever, commissioner of municipality, and your task has been given by the state government, your government, that you have to remove these slums and do something about it. Right? As a civil engineer, what are your views about taking care of these slums so that they move out of that place and whatever you would like to do with them?
Sir, reducing encroachments at any place is a very tricky task because people are living at that place for a very long time and their life and livelihood depends around it. So sir, as a civil engineer and also if I am given the opportunity or given the task to remove the encroachments, I would like to first give a notice to the people. Immediate encroachment removal should not be done because people would not have any other avenues to go. Sir, after giving them the notice, sir, the illegal encroachment should be removed first. And sir, at the same time, the schemes like Ran Basera, which are present in, for example, Delhi government, and sir, other schemes, other interventions should be explored to allow those people to move in those areas so that they have a roof on their head. And sir, as far as the renovation or the reconstruction of that site is uh, concerned, sir, as a civil engineer, I would like to ensure that the new buildings use clean and green energy and are environmentally sustainable. Sir, these I would consider.
In the budget, India has assured of aid of 200 crores to Taliban-run government, and some opposition parties have made some remark that instead of spending on health and education, we are spending on a country which is, not our friend. Now, what do you have to say about this action of the government?
Sir, I am in favor of this particular step because uh, we need to understand that Afghanistan is our neighbor and we cannot change our neighbors. So at the same time, Taliban is the present government in Afghanistan, and given that we have so much investment already done in Afghanistan, for example, their parliament, the Salma Dam, and other investments. So I
Okay,
think
so you will keep that in mind that
yes,
Afghanistan is our. So, what if Pakistan also, asks for some aid? I mean, Taliban is a terror organization. Pakistan has terrorists. It's not as bad as Taliban. Even then, if they ask, shall we give the similar aid to them?
sir, I think our diplomatic engagements with Pakistan cannot be same as any other country because Pakistan for a very long time has used its own lands for state-sponsored terrorism on our own country. And sir,
So, you would not be in favor of giving the aid. Is that?
sir, I am in favor of giving aid which um, helps the people of Pakistan because they are in dire straits at the moment. Sir, those interventions can be explored which help the people, but direct aid to the government cannot be a solution because we do not know whether that aid goes to the people
Very
of
good.
Pakistan or army.
Thank you, Utkarsh.
So, Utkarsh, on the topic of Pakistan, International Monetary Fund has given some suggestions to Pakistan regarding tightening up its fiscal measures.
Yes, sir.
Are you aware of them? What did they say?
Yes, sir. IMF has given conditions that they should reduce the subsidies that they give, and they should be more fiscally prudent in their.
You mean to say that IMF is against the subsidy? Because I think we are also giving lots of subsidy here and there. So, or is it a qualified suggestion?
Sir, I'm not aware of the exact clauses, but IMF has given these particular conditions for its bailout clause.
They have pinpointed the electricity subsidy.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. In mentoring, which is your hobby or interest, what are the challenges?
Sir, I have done mentoring students mostly on an online medium, and sir, the challenge of personalized interaction is always there because
How this beneficiaries come to know that you are available for mentoring online?
sir, I used to upload and interact with students on an edtech platform for 3-4 years,
Okay.
and sir, there were lecture scheduled classes, and there were forums where they could post their doubts and issues, and also they could mail and message me as well.
Okay. So we are talking about the challenges.
Yes, sir.
What are the challenges?
Sir, first would be availability of digital literacy because online medium students often find difficulty. Sir, second would be to cater to the personalized issues that students have. because we cannot have a single marker for every student. Every student has difficulties in some particular areas. Sir, it is one of the difficulties.
Suppose instead of online mentoring,
Yes, sir.
you would have taken up mentoring of students in your locality, one by one. Then would that not have been more beneficial? Or in your city or your town, wherever you are.
Yes,
Suppose
sir.
you put a small board in your place, say Kankadwag, and say, okay, here is my signboard. Free mentoring available from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. every day. Like that. Will it not be more successful?
Sir, I chose the online medium because there were already people who were there on the platform, and the reach of my videos and my mentoring was already there.
Okay.
So that's
Ajay,
why.
tell me, Nitish government has implemented a prohibition policy. Whether tadi is included in prohibition or not? You know what is tadi?
Sir, it's a non-alcoholic
What?
thing. I'm not exactly aware, but only liquor is prohibited in the policy.
Mm-hmm.
So,
So-
tadi, I don't think it is prohibited.
You know what is tadi or you don't know what is tadi?
Sir, I don't know.
Ajay, okay, then it's no need to answer that question. We come to the general issue that prohibition policy of Bihar government had come for adverse criticism. What are the objections about this policy?
Sir, prohibition policy was enacted in 2016, and since then it has been criticized by many people. So different reasons are. Sir, firstly, there was no elaborate background survey that was done to cater to the specific demands. For example, if alcohol addiction is more in a particular district, then it should have been given a more personalized or more specific intervention. But sir, a blanket ban was enacted. This was objected. Sir, secondly, it is also objected that the state loses a lot of excise revenue. And being a developing state, people have argued that Bihar
Okay.
cannot afford.
One more.
Sir, thirdly, there are not regular reviews of the successes and course correction needed in the policy. Sir, the prohibition policy is amended a couple of times, but sir, I think to generate more confidence in the people, survey has to be done to bring out the changes that have taken
What is the
place.
most important tweaking which has been done? Most important course correction which has been done? In these so many years, no?
Sir, an amendment was passed just last year, but I'm unable to recall
Okay,
that.
thank you.
Utkarsh, tell me Bharat Ratna winners from Bihar.
Sir, Ustad Bismillah Khan. Sir, I would not like to take a guess. I have a few names, but I'm not exactly sure. I would not like
So about Bihar, you should be proud.
Yes.
One of the state having so many Bharat Ratnas.
Yes, sir.
All right. So suppose you are to mentor a candidate who is qualified in civil services and is going to appear for personality test interview. So very briefly, you are the mentor and you are telling the candidate what all should be done for a better performance in civil service interview.
Sir, first I would make him aware of the exact words that are written in the notification. So the notification say that it is not an interview but a purposive conversation. Sir, I would like to remind him that this is a test of his personality and less test of his knowledge. So he should be more comfortable and more free in terms of expressing his opinions. So secondly, I would tell him to make sure that the basic etiquettes are being taken care of. So for example, he should be clean shaven. and he should be formal in terms of his interaction, because this is a formal test.
Okay.
And so third, I would tell him to brush up his main syllabus as well, because knowledge is also tested at times. So these three things.
That's all?
Sir,
All right. So now here is the question.
Yes, sir.
What is India of your dreams?
So there are multiple aspects of which I think India of my dream should be. For example, firstly, in the India of my dreams, the people who are from the marginalized sections should feel comfortable and should feel that their views are also being taken care of. So secondly, the affluent section of the society, in the India of my dreams, those sections should act as caretaker. Those sections should act as a section of society who care for the deprived sections, and as Gandhiji said, they should act as the trustees of the weaker sections of society. So thirdly, in the India of my dreams, I think equal emphasis on sports, education, health, mental health. So these unexplored areas should also be equally emphasized. Sir. And sir, fourthly, in the India of my dreams, I think today is a time of Industry 4.0 and frontier technologies. So, sir, I would like to see India as one of the leaders in these technologies as well.
Okay. Okay. Tell me the problems in urban planning. When we look at cities like Delhi and Bombay, which get flooded during monsoon, so do you attribute everything to lack of urban planning or something else? So, what are the issues in urban planning today?
Sir, one of the major issues in our today's cities is the lack of master plan for the cities. Most cities were constructed. Most cities have been getting constructed and built over a very large amount of time, and there is very few cities are planned as part of a master plan. For example, Chandigarh is planned, and sir, this is leading to issues of drainage. So many construction sites are built without any drainage or sewer facilities available. Sir, also we are encroaching the land which should not ideally be encroached. For example, floodplains. So this is leading to recurrent floods in the cities. And sir, third, the construction quality is also often deteriorated. For example, the material quality is not up to the mark, which is leading to substandard buildings which are getting cracks and which are also getting destructed during earthquakes and other calamities. So these things.
Slums or unauthorized colonies, do you attribute these also as a cause of various problems?
Yes, sir. Slums and illegal encroachments, unauthorized colonies are also a reason why our cities are not getting planned, sir. But this is a byproduct of our inability to provide facilities to those people.
Delhi has a master plan,
Yes,
but
sir.
still has all these problems.
Sir, I have a very limited knowledge of Delhi, but as far as I know, there is an old Delhi part as well, which is not very well planned. And so new localities, new colonies are planned as per the civil engineering standards.
What is integrity pact?
Sir, am I allowed to take a
All right.
educated guess?
All right.
Sir, Integrity Pact was added in the IBC, Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code. So,
No,
it's not. Sorry, sir.
you are on the wrong track. So, last question is on corruption. It is prevalent all over. So, should we accept corruption as way of life? What do you have to say?
Sir, it is true that there is a perception and reality as well that corruption is an evil in our society. But I don't think we should accept corruption in any form. Sir, corruption is bad not because of the quantity, but because of the character. Sir, even a corruption of a very small petty amount is also corruption because it leads to the person you misusing more funds in future because it builds the confidence that he will not be punished if he does so. Sir, I think corruption in any form or quantity should not be tolerated, and our government has been taking initiatives to ensure that.
Thank you.
Utkarsh, how smart is Patna city? Patna is covered under the smart city program.
No, sir, Patna is not.
It's not covered.
No, sir.
Okay. Which are cities covered under smart city in Bihar?
Sir, I can only recall Muzaffarpur. I will have to check more.
You check. I think Patna is also there. Muzaffarnagar,
Yes, sir,
Muzaffarpur.
I will check
Yeah.
it, sir.
Okay. No problem. But you are aware of this concept of smart city.
Yes, sir.
So why don't we talk of smart villages? Smart city is good. There are 100 cities have been selected, but our 65-70% population still lives in villages. Why aren't we talking of smart village? What is your idea of a smart village? Given the chance as a district collector, how would you create a smart village? What kind of resources will you use?
So, smart village, as you said, is a very innovative and a very beautiful concept, and I would like it to be a part of our policy.
Good.
Sir, a smart village, in my opinion, should be a village which is self-sufficient in its own. Sir, at the same time, it should be connected to the nearby cities, and there should be proper transportation. Sir, our villages often face the problem of lack of transportation, due to which the agricultural farmers have to sell their crops to nearby mandis or to local middlemen. Sir, I think a smart village should be the one which should have all the amenities available in its vicinity. And at the same time, the people who want to move up the social ladder and get more advanced education or any health facilities available, they should be able to do that with proper connectivity to the cities.
Okay. Now, civil engineering, tell me some new technologies in civil engineering, some innovative technologies which can be helpful in undertaking our infrastructure initiative of the government, infrastructure building.
Sir, presently civil engineering focuses a lot on building buildings which are free from natural disasters. For example, for earthquake, we have technologies like base isolation, we have technologies like viscous and tuned dampers, and other technologies are also there. Sir, in terms of the building materials, we have new type of concretes like self-healing concrete is there,
Okay, good.
and green concrete is also there. And sir, we use 3D printing also in present times.
Yeah, very nice. 3D. In Bihar, you see the average land holding Utkarsh is very low.
Yes,
it is almost one, I think less than 1 acre.
Less than 1 acre.
1 acre. So, with this condition of land holding, how would you plan as a district collector for development of agriculture in the area? What strategy would you adopt? Strategy, resources, technology, just one or two each.
Yes, sir. Sir, it is a very challenging task, I agree, because land is very dear to the farmers, and because Bihar has a lot of subsistence agriculture, it is very difficult to ensure land acquisition to build industries. Sir, I would use technologies, for example, drones. We have Swamitwa scheme to map the area to ensure that there is no illegal illegal lands in name of people who do not actually own it. So land titling should be conclusive. Sir, at the same time, I would encourage farmers to go for land pooling.
Land pooling, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Very good.
And
There is an institutional mechanism available. There is a Government of India scheme for that. Are you aware?
Sir, I'm aware of the Niti Aayog Model Land Pooling Act, but I'm not aware of.
Okay, no problem. You participated in one national quiz on Summer Olympics.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now tell me, recently, I think last month, the Honorable Minister of Sports of India, he, I think, proposed that we will be proposing to host 2036 Olympics in Ahmedabad city.
Yes, sir.
So, do you think that India is prepared, looking at our present level of, medal tally in international Olympics, international sports, and infrastructure? Do you think that it is a good idea?
Sir, it is a progressive idea in my opinion because hosting an Olympics is a very big event and it requires building a particular set of infrastructure beforehand. Sir, at present times we are not in a position to hold the Olympics. That's why we have opted to bid for 2036 Olympics. And sir, I am fairly confident that given the rate of investment in infrastructure, we will be in a position to host the Olympics. Sir, I am very confident.
Okay, my last question, Utkarsh. Which area of governance in India you feel we are lagging behind? Just one. Name any one. And how would you attempt to correct that?
Sir, I think we are slightly lagging behind in terms of review of different policies and course corrections needed. So policies are built, policies are implemented, but often they are not course corrected to suit the actual demands because only after implementation we are aware of the actual nitty-gritties of the policy and whether it is suitable on ground or not. So I think we should review the policies regularly.
That means you mean to say that we should improve our concurrent evaluation of a scheme, etc.
Yes, sir.
Okay, right. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Utkarsh, why do you wish to join civil services and which areas would you like to work?
Sir, my decision or preference to join civil services is a combination of personal as well as professional interests. Sir, professionally, I believe it will give me different challenges to work on a daily basis and a diversity of work profile. And sir, at the same time, on a personal level, I would like to be in a position where I can see my work helping people directly. So these are the primary motivations. And sir, in terms of the areas I would like to focus more, sir, I think education is one area. In my own state, Bihar, if I get the opportunity, I would like to work on the primary education as well as women empowerment is another area where I would like to work.
Okay, Utkarsh, your optional subject is anthropology.
Yes, sir.
So, can you tell the role of environment in evolution of human beings?
So different aspects of environment impact human beings and their body size and shape in different ways. For example, the altitude, the heat, the cold, these impact the body in different ways. For example, we see that in colder areas, for example, in the Arctic, people have very large body size and very small body appendages. For example, their hands are of a relatively smaller proportion and their body is well built to store the reserves because they do not get food for some time. And sir, in the places like the deserts and equator, we see people are very thin and very lanky built. And sir, also, if we see the altitude as an aspect of environment, the highlanders or the people who live in the altitudes, their nose is slightly upward to intake more oxygen, and also their lungs have the capacity to hold more oxygen.
Okay, Utkarsh, tell me about the state of the Indian economy as per the latest economic survey of India.
So the latest economic survey has projected a very optimistic picture of our economy. Sir, it has said that, and in fact there is also a chapter in the economic survey which says that we have been past the recovery phase and our economy is on way of where it was before the COVID pandemic struck. Sir, the GDP growth is projected to be around 6.8% if I'm exactly aware. And sir, also it is noted that the fiscal deficit is within the 2 to 6% bracket.
Okay, thank you, Utkarsh. I pass on to Chairman, sir.
Utkarsh, tell us something about the efforts which Union government has taken in the recent past for Northeast development, Northeastern region.
Sir, firstly, there is an increased focus on the infrastructure development because Northeast is a very important part of of India, and it is strategically very important as well. So we have built bridges like the Bogeyville Bridge, Dhola Sadia Bridge, and secondly, there is also a focus on resolving the political issues or the issues with insurgency in Northeast. Sir, different mediations are also conducted to resolve the conflicts. And sir, for example, the Brur-Yang conflict, which was pending for a very long time, was resolved a couple of years ago. And sir, also the government is very proactive with Northeastern Council by holding regular meetings with the governors and chief ministers to ensure that the region is developed proportionately to the mainland.
Okay, so Utkarsh, now we are at the fag end of the interview.
Yes.
But before I close, if you think that any question or any topic has not been covered by us by asking question from you, then you can point it out. I will ask the last question from there.
Sir, I would request if it's possible to ask question on Ghazals and Qawwali. Right?
Ghazals and Qawwalis. So, Ghazals and Qawwalis are, you know, they are how they are different.
Sir, Ghazal is more related to the Urdu poetic form, while Qawwali is more related to the singing aspect. Sir, Qawwali is a Sufi devotional music, and Ghazal is more poetic in nature and has more rigid rules. So there is a limitation of Radif, Kafiya, and Bahar in Ghazals, while Qawwali is more free-flowing and has multiple singers whose job is to echo the voice of the main singer.
So, Utkarsh, name one good Ghazal singer who you liked most and a Qawwal. And why?
Sir, a Ghazal singer which I admire the most is Mehdi Hasan ji, and Qawwal is Ustad Nusrat Fateh Ali Khan.
So, Utkarsh, thanks. We conclude our interview and you may proceed to the next room. We'll call you again.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Come. Please sit down, Utkarsh. Okay, so Utkarsh, before we give our feedback to you, let me hear your feedback about your own interview.
Sir, I think it was relatively better, but I need to work on many areas. Today the questions were slightly where I was slightly comfortable, but I know I need to work on many areas.
But I believe the actual interviews are making everyone more comfortable than,
Yes,
panel like us.
yes, sir.
But that's very tricky, Utkarsh. Be very, I am reading the transcripts. Most of the candidates who have appeared, they say, oh, it's very cordial, they're very nice, they're very sweet. Now, that is not the benchmark of your interview. That if they are cordial, suppose if you are not able to answer, they are not going to get angry and shout at you.
Yes.
You get a point? So you have to maintain your quality and preparedness. Because just by smiling and saying, smiling around while asking questions will not be a indication that all is well, right? So what I'm trying to say is that they will put you in great ease. So you must be able to get your thoughts, clear thoughts, which you have. You have a very good personality. We are very impressed. And your conversation is concise. Your answers are the length that it should have instead of going, too lengthy. Your expression is good. Your selection of words is also good. And your knowledge is also varied. Maybe some depth has to be brought, especially with regard to your DAF areas. right? Because I generally advise that in matters related to deaf, your knowledge should go to the level of understanding. It should not be just knowledge. Oh, I know something. There's difference between knowledge and understanding. You should understand the whole thing so well that you are able to tackle any supplementary questions also. Otherwise, what happens is with knowledge, you just know the first answer and then you
Yes, sir.
duck. So, everything that you have mentioned, whether it is Kishore Vigyanik Protsahan Yojana and these days, these activities and hobbies, they are attracting the the interviewers there in the board in the UPSC. But Bihar is important, Patna is important, Bhojpur. I did ask a question and likewise. आप पे भोजपुरी पे बहुत क्वेश्चन आएगा.
अच्छा.
भोजपुरी गाने और भोजपुरी ये जितनी भी है. आई आस्क्ड यू अबाउट पॉपुलैरिटी. तो उसका आपने शुरू से भी कहा, बट ये भी कहो कि भोजपुरी में म्यूजिक हैज़ टेकन अ बिग has made a big contribution in promoting Bhojpuri.
Yes, sir.
Films.
But sir, as I said in the very first line, I was very pessimistic. I said in the very first line that quality has reduced. I should not have said
What?
that.
Quality.
Quality of music has reduced. I said in the very
Reduced
first-
word is not correct. Deteriorated.
Deteriorated.
Ah.
Sir, should I mention that in the very first line?
Actually, it's not required.
Not required.
हाँ.
What is that to do? You
Plus
see,
उस पे हमका डिस्कशन थोड़ी ना है.
my question was why Bhojpuri has become
popular.
so popular.
Hmm.
So films have played a great role. Bhojpuri films they have their own share in the overall market.
Yes, sir.
The TV serials, the songs, Bhojpuri songs. And also you must say that Bhojpuri is spoken not just in Bhojpur or Bihar. It is also the language of Eastern Uttar Pradesh, Jharkhand,
Yes.
and many more areas. And with the kind of migration which has happened of Bihar, people from Bihar, जो भोजपुरी पसंद करता है वो दिल्ली में भी भोजपुरी के गाने गा रहा है.
Yes, sir.
क्योंकि वो माइग्रेट होके सबसे ज़्यादा बिहार से ही तो आए हैं, है ना. सो यू हैव टू जस्ट कंपोज योर आंसर एंड आपसे क्वेश्चन पूछेंगे ज़रूर.
जी, सर.
बाकी आपका हाँ,
जस्ट इंटरवीन.
क्या?
सूरीनाम एक देश है जो कि हॉलैंड
फिजी.
जिस पे शासन करता था.
फिजी.
वहाँ भोजपुरी बिल्कुल चलती है. उसके लोग हॉलैंड में बसे हुए हैं. मैं हॉलैंड में कुछ समय जाना हुआ तो भोजपुरी में बात करने वाले बहुत लोग हैं वहाँ. इतनी पॉपुलर है भोजपुरी फिल्म वहाँ पर.
भोजपुरी को प्रमोट करने के लिए एक ऐप बना है. तो उस ऐप में पिक्चर भोजपुरी पिक्चर्स अब ऐप पे आ रही हैं और उससे बहुत ज़्यादा प्रमोशन हो रही है. आप देखिएगा.
जी सर, इसको मैं देख लूंगा.
ये है शेक्सपियर, जैसा आपने नाम लिया था शेक्सपियर और बिहार.
भिखारी
भिखारी
ठाकुर.
ठाकुर जी.
हैं?
एक आपसे नॉर्थ ईस्ट पे प्रश्न जरूर पूछेंगे. यू मिस्ड आउट ऑन डोनर. There's a separate ministry for
Ministry.
North. You start with that.
Yes, sir.
And बाकी प्रायोरिटी से आपने नॉर्थ ईस्टर्न काउंसिल का भी बोला, वो भी अच्छा था. And there are another thing which if you say the panel will be very important, will very very happy कि in the government budget, union government budget, 10% of the budget of every ministry is earmarked as a notional budget for North Eastern. That means if I am in the Ministry of Tourism and I have to spend 100 rupees on the entire country, I must spend 10 rupees on North Eastern region.
Sir, I did not know that. Thank you, sir.
For no other state, no, you would not know because it is something government के अंदर की बात है. आप common उसमें मिलेगा भी नहीं आपको. But donor is something which you should know about it. That's all, Utkarsh. You are a very good candidate. You will
Sir, I
certainly do
have
well.
a very
Let's listen to other members and then last में आप.
उत्कर्ष, बिल्कुल जो सर ने बात बताया है ये ध्यान रखिएगा. कोई उसमें अलग से बताने की जरूरत नहीं है. बिहार की दो चीज़ें लोग पूछते हैं, एक है कास्ट सेंसस और एक है ये प्रोहिबिशन पॉलिसी. दोनों को पढ़िएगा, पढ़ने से तैयार हो जाता है, ऐसी कोई चीज़ नहीं है. बहुत लोग इंडस्ट्रियल डेवलपमेंट के बारे में पूछते हैं
जी सर.
और जो नदियों का प्रकोप है वहाँ पर उसके
कोसी.
बारे में पूछते हैं. ठीक है, तैयार करके रखिएगा.
जी सर.
ओके.
उत्कर्ष, भारत रत्न बिहार। तो देख लेना भाई,
हाँ सर,
आपका तो
ये
पहला राष्ट्रपति वहाँ के थे, और साइंटिस्ट, राष्ट्रपति, बिस्मिल्लाह खां आपने सिर्फ बोला। बट
सर
लुक इनटू दीज आर एलिमेंट्री थिंग। जहाँ से ऊपर चढ़ते हैं तो ये सीढ़ी की पहली स्टेप है ये, ठीक है ना। और मास्टर प्लान के बारे में थोड़ा देखिएगा। जो दिल्ली तो मैंने एक मिसाल दिया था, मास्टर प्लान में चेंजेस होते रहते हैं। So see how master plans are tampered with from time to time, which affects urban planning.
Yes sir, I will
So
see.
I wanted your comment on that, इसलिए मैंने वो पूछा था। बस इंडिया ऑफ योर ड्रीम इज व्हाट इंडिया एट 100, गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया भी वही कर रही है। तो अगर कुछ टारगेट्स वगैरह उसको आप देख सकें, तो अमृतकाल का भारत का क्या टारगेट रखा है? 100 साल हो जाएंगे, तो आपके नौकरी के 25 साल और हो जाएंगे। 25 साल के बाद का भारत भी मैं पूछ सकता था आपसे।
जी सर।
ठीक है, तो कई तरह से ये आपको देखना पड़ेगा। सो लुक इनटू द टारगेट्स ऑफ अमृतकाल, न्यू इंडिया, दैट्स इट। यू वर गुड इन योर ऑल अदर रिप्लाईज, कीप इट अप।
Thank you,
वेरी
sir.
गुड पर्सनैलिटी, वेरी गुड delivery, so I was very happy.
Thank you, sir.
उत्कर्ष, थोड़ा एक ब्रश अप कीजिए करंट अफेयर्स को। बाकी तो सारे पॉइंट्स कवर हुए हैं, सर ने बताया, आपको उन पे कई कीजिए। पटना का देख लीजिए, स्मार्ट सिटी का, वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट स्कीम ऑफ गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया। और कुछ चेंजेस भी आपने नोटिस किए होंगे वहाँ पर पटना में।
हाँ
smart
सर,
city।
मेट्रो बन रहा है अभी।
और भी इसके अलावा भी स्मार्ट सिटी के अंदर कई प्रोजेक्ट सेंक्शन होते हैं। तो उसमें
हाँ सर।
मैं, पटना इज वन ऑफ द 4 cities इन बिहार विच इज कवर्ड अंडर स्मार्ट सिटी प्रोग्राम। और दूसरा, आप थोड़ा सा सीरियस मुझे ज़्यादा लगे तो मतलब आप देखिएगा वीडियो में भी, सीरियसनेस को थोड़ा सा कम कीजिए। ब्रिंग स्माइलिंग फेस, यू डोंट हैव टू स्माइल, बट योर फेस शुड बी, देयर इज अ डिस्टिंक्शन, योर मसल्स, योर आई शुड बी इन ए स्माइलिंग मोड, राइट? अदरवाइज योर कम्युनिकेशन स्किल्स, योर नॉलेज, एवरीथिंग इज गुड। जस्ट कीप ऑन ब्रशिंग अप एंड ऑल द बेस्ट फॉर दिस।
Thank you, sir.
सो उत्कर्ष, सारे पॉइंट कवर हो चुके हैं। इंट्रोडक्शन में फादर एंड मदर के बारे में आपने बोला था, उनको अवॉइड कीजिए। आपने दोनों के बारे में बोला था, उनको अवॉइड कीजिए। बाकी सारे सजेशंस मिल चुके हैं आपको, एंड विश यू ऑल द बेस्ट। आप कुछ पूछना चाह रहे थे शुरू में?
हाँ सर, एक क्वेश्चन है। जैसे ये दिक्कत आ रही है कि कोई टॉपिक का 2 क्वेश्चन मैं उस टॉपिक से शुरू के 2 एलिमेंट्री क्वेश्चंस कवर कर रहा हूँ, बट उस टॉपिक से अगर सप्लीमेंट्री तीसरे चौथे क्वेश्चन पे जा रहे हैं तो क्लैरिटी की दिक्कत आ रही है। तो एग्जाम्पल, फॉर एग्जांपल रशिया यूक्रेन वॉर को ही अगर ले, तो उसमें रशिया क्यों नहीं न्यूक्लियर वेपन यूज़ कर रहा है? अगर रशिया न्यूक्लियर वेपन यूज़ करेगा तो बाकी कंट्रीज़ यूक्रेन की हेल्प को आएंगे कि नहीं आएंगे? थोड़े डेप्थ में जाने पे थोड़ी क्लैरिटी की दिक्कत आ रही है, इसको कैसे?
So ये तो मेरिट बेस्ड है ना, like you have to share your views with some logic, right? Because these are all imaginary.
Yeah.
मतलब कोई लाइन ऑफ एक्शन, अब why is Russia not using? You have to just imagine that why should Russia use, right? So if you were Putin, सबसे पहले आपके ख्याल आता, आई एम नॉट टॉकिंग ऑफ कोई एरोगेंस में और द जर्क रिएक्शन में आप कहो कि भाई दाग दो मिसाइल। सोच समझा वाला जो निर्णय है वो यही होगा कि मैंने किया तो अमेरिका वहाँ बैठा हुआ है, नाटो के 4 कंट्रीज बैठे हैं, मैं एक को दागूंगा, वहाँ 5 मुझे दाग देंगे। सो आई एम श्योर सर दैट रशिया वुड certainly have this fear that since NATO has shown its total resolve and they are united on helping Ukraine in some or the other manner. So the way they have helped Ukraine in defense equipments, and they may through some other source, maybe कोई commitment है ना, all is fair in love and war, is it not? ये नहीं कहना है, लेकिन वो कह रहे यार नेटो में तो मैं हूँ नहीं यूक्रेन, आप फिर न्यूक्लियर अटैक कैसे करोगे? बिकॉज any nuclear attack on any country in this world will be a problem for any country.
Yes sir.
रेडिएशंस हैं, क्लाइमेट चेंज की बात कर रहे हैं हम, आज वो घर के चूल्हे के स्मोक से परेशान हैं, न्यूक्लियर के डिज़ास्टर से या न्यूक्लियर डिजास्टर हुआ, वो तो कोई वॉर नहीं था.
जी,
So every country will be affected. Not necessary that because NATO का नहीं है यूक्रेन, इसलिए why should America use a missile? So that answers the first question. What was the
Yes.
other supplementary?
Sir, will the other countries come to Ukraine's aid?
I am sure they would come to the aid in case there is a nuclear war for the same reason which I mentioned.
Yes, sir.
Because nuclear, it has been effort of the entire universe, I mean the planet or all the countries in this world not to use nuclear weapons.
Yes.
And so many treaties and so UN after 1945 and all. So there would certainly be any use of nuclear weapon by any country or any other country will be a threat to their country.
Humanity.
So they are, to my mind, sir, they would certainly act, and they will also retaliate and help Ukraine in.
Yes, sir.
How do you know Ukraine के पास भी न्यूक्लियर मिसाइल हो? वो रशिया को ये भी एक डाउट था. वो बनाया उन्होंने एक यूक्रेन के एक पोर्शन में न्यूक्लियर कैपेबिलिटीज बना रहे थे, फिर उसको बंद कर दिया गया. तो
पहले तो सर न्यूक्लियर आर्मामेंट थे भी काफी ना,
थे भी. रशिया का ही तो था वो,
सारा
यूएसएसआर का ही पार्ट था.
जी, जी.
और
Sir, thank
so
you.
Utkarsh, we have given you 69%, which is very high.
190.
So you deserve that. And बस आपको अपना थोड़ा सा नॉलेज को अपडेट कर लो और जो मिसिंग लिंक्स हैं उसको प्लग कर लो, तो आई थिंक यू विल क्रॉस even beyond 70, certainly.
Thank you, sir. Sir, one small thing. Sir asked about integrity pact.
Yeah.
Sir, I went in a completely different direction. Although I asked for permission, but should I?
वो नहीं पढ़ा है तो नहीं आता.
वो ठीक है ना, मैंने परमिशन दी थी, फिर मैंने आपको रोक दिया.
सर तो वो माफ हो जाता है ना अगर परमिशन लेके कुछ गलत बोल.
नहीं तो I knew that you are taking a guess which you asked me, so it will not go against you. I never even told you after that.
Yes.
बट देखिए
I
गेस
saw-
तभी कीजिए जब व्हेन यू आर 70-80% श्योर. अदरवाइज गेसिंग
But
सिंपली से
you should read about integrity, because my next question was on corruption. So integrity pact and corruption are linked. तो उससे गेस करो कि मैंने ये नेक्स्ट सवाल करप्शन का पूछा था, बिकॉज दीज आर लिंक्ड.
Yes, sir. Pardon.
ट्रांसपेरेंसी इंटरनेशनल ने इंटीग्रिटी पैक्ट का आइडिया दिया था, एंड नाउ both the parties have to sign integrity pact beyond a threshold. Read about it.
जी सर.
सेंट्रल विजिलेंस कमीशन की वेबसाइट पर जाइएगा तो उसमें इंटीग्रिटी पैक्ट अलग से दिया हुआ है,
And there
उसका
are
फॉर्मेट वगैरह सब कुछ है.
external monitors to enforce and ensure integrity pact. I was one of the IEMs, so I am telling you.
Sir, I will read on this, sir.
So all the best, Utkarsh, to you.
All the best.
Thank you, sir.
All the best.